following program is intended for mature audiences.
It's the music, movies, and shows you love.
As if we care.
And hate.
You ain't gonna like it none.
And love to hate.
I didn't expect that at all.
This is The Broken Remote.
And coming to you live on tape on this, a historic day, Thursday, April 11th, 2024. What the hell makes it so historic? Well, my good friend Will, it is historic because we have lost what truly is an American treasure.
And such a brave man.
And that would be the one, the only, Orenthal James Simpson.
No, say it isn't so.
Happy trails. You lived a very impactful life on many people, probably everybody.
I was going to say two people in particular, his children, really have a lot to say. But I will say, O.J. Simpson, there's some kerfluffle with him that happened a little bit after I was born, so I wasn't really mentally aware for it at that point. But I got to say, after reading about him, something that really caught my eye. Like, did you know 143 yards per game? Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe it.
This is the thing that's fucking crazy about the whole O.J. story. When you put it, when you put it under the microscope, as a NFL football player, plus as a college football player, he was fucking good.
He was fucking good.
So good. As a personality, after his career was over, he was huge.
He's okay. Recently I rewatched the first two Naked Gun movies. He's kind of funny in them.
He was funny in them. He was Hertz's Rent-A-Car's main guy.
Yeah, I know. My dad used to work for that when he was out of college, so he was.
Yeah,
I mean, just man, dude.
This wasn't a small-time personality. This guy was huge, and I think he also was on NBC broadcasts for the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
who can forget? Have you followed his Twitter at all?
No, I never got into his Twitter, although people said they loved it. They said it was fantastic.
Hey, Twitter world. It's O.J. Simpson coming at you. I gotta say, I got some thoughts about this thing right here, and every single comment is just a bunch of knives in a row.
Twitter. So I play Fortnite. I play it with my kids, but I play it by myself as well. And I think
I would pay for an OJ. I would start playing Fortnite if there's an O.J. Simpson skin. Oh my god.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, the humanity.
Wait, are you serious?
You bet. Yes. So they released.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah. So they made these. They made these skins, NFL skins, and they're universal. So they have a couple of white guys, a couple of black guys, different shades. So you can buy the different skins.
No fucking way there is.
Yeah, and then you can change. You can you can change the uniform however you want. So you can do every single different team that there is. I don't know if every team's on them, but so I made they didn't make an OJ skin.
Okay.
So I took the Bills
one. You can customize it. Yeah. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and they have one of their current uniforms is the old school uniform.
I was gonna say, dude, bold move. You're gonna make an OJ Simpson skin in your game.
I mean,
the gloves just don't fit on the character model. They're doing everything else.
The only thing that I can't do to make, because listen to what I did. So I have him in an old school Bills uniform because it's one of the ones that they use now. Number 32. Mm-hmm. He's got gloves on. They're white. They're not black, but he's got gloves on.
So close.
Not Metal Gear, with a Solid Snake.
Solid Snake, yeah.
Solid Snake's weapon was this big, giant katana knife. It looks exactly like the Rambo knife. So I put that in OJ's hand. And the only thing I'm missing now is just some kind of Bronco to bring me in.
Just the Ford Bronco.
I need the glider. I need the Bronco glider to get me in there.
When you're dropping down. Dude, I Man,
It's my
so
favorite
sick.
skin. I play it, and when I play it, I laugh my ass off.
It's so funny.
I
think
try to
about,
kill
dude.
people with the knife. And I'm wondering if these kids on the other end even have any clue what the fuck I'm doing.
Dude, I feel like God knows I'm getting up there now, but it was such a big story. I don't think they'll ever understand the impact he once was. I don't even comprehend like just what a major figure he was. In my mind, like he's always just been that dude who definitely didn't do something. I don't know what.
So, look.
Yeah, what is he? He's not innocent, but he's certainly not guilty. Isn't that how it kind of works? I
mean,
guess?
who the hell knows, right? I mean, I think he even wrote the book, If I Did It, right? Remember that whole debacle?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's just currently accepted by reality at large that he killed his wife and her
Wait, he what? Wait, I thought he just was a good football player.
and her boyfriend at the time.
Ron Goldman. Oh man.
And now I don't even know. It'll be interesting to see if they probably will not. But
I
whether
would
or not
love to watch how NBC will do like an in memoriam. They'll be like,
Oh.
"I will remember you," and they'll show like highlights of the guy's career.
You know what's hysterical
Pay
is
for
that I was wondering the same thing when the news first broke, and I was like, is this going to be front page news everywhere? And it has been front page everywhere and then some.
Yeah, I know. There's so many memes about it, dude.
I mean, it is on CNN, Fox News. You insert the news channel here, it's on there.
You know, I
they
could
put
say
it on ESPN of all places. Well, ESPN makes sense, I guess.
they're showing his highlights.
I don't think they showed the highlights.
It's not even him on the football field. It's just him in court, just getting away with it.
Oh, well, there's so many
So
court videos that are up there. But ESPN might have done an ode to his actual playing career because he was so good. I haven't clicked on anything because I can't take
Bro,
ESPN.
what's so crazy is because they have Seinfeld on Netflix. I love it. As a New York Jew, I have to. Great show though. But there's an episode.
I don't think you have to be a New York Jew, but I guess you feel some requirement because you are.
It's contractually obligated. No, we have to.
Right.
Otherwise, we're put to death by O.J. Simpson, as a matter of fact, until they find someone else. But
That's right, because the kid was Goldman, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what happened. He said, "I don't really like Seinfeld that much, dude." So, but anyway, let's go with that story.
Is OJ like your Darth Vader?
He's our Darth Vader. Well, that's racist because he's black. You're saying that? Wow. Okay. Well,
Whoopsie.
we're getting canceled so fast. This podcast.
I might be a little bit.
But no, I'm saying that because there's an episode of Seinfeld that comes out where they're making some Elaine makes some joke about some very sexy football players, and she's like, "Oh, well, what about this guy or this guy or OJ? Wow." You know when that episode aired?
Well, I had it
2
before.
months before the fucking murder. 2 months before the murder, dude.
Okay.
He was that guy they could just name drop and expect everyone to be like, yeah, that dude. Awesome. Cool.
Because he was everywhere. Literally everywhere. So he was in the movies,
Hey, Twitter world.
on TV. He's historic in the NFL at the time, historic at USC before that. I mean, the list goes on and on. The guy was, I can dig it out, but at one point for Christmas, my parents got me an OJ memorabilia, porcelain statue, little, commemorative sports collectible thing. And I still have it.
And now on Spotify, you can get the O.J. Simpson rap when he was panted for gold to get money after that court just robbed him of everything.
Did he do a rap? I don't remember.
Oh, yes, he did.
He did do a rap? Okay, I gotta look
it's a
that
rap.
one up, because I don't remember that at all.
I'm pretty sure it was done by the same guy who did Girls Gone Wild.
Oh, Jesus.
I hate that I know that, but it is
That's a deep cut right there.
he was doing a pranking show after it, all made by the Girls Gone Wild guy, and the clips from it, dude, are just because this is after the whole court case, and so it's been him like, hey, you want to buy a used white Bronco? And then people are like that he's coming up in the street like it's Impractical Jokers, instead of being like, what? They're like, holy shit, you're O.J. Simpson. Oh my God, you're gonna murder me.
All right, so let's see if I can find this. Is this O.J. Simpson get juiced?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
So let's see which one has the most, because Joe Rogan, O.J. Simpson rap video. I don't know.
It's not gonna be good. Let's just put it that way. Whatever
this one only's got a couple thousand views.
you got juiced.
Well, he was on the It Is What It Is podcast now, which has just skyrocketed into the stratosphere, featuring Cameron and Mace. And they had him on as like Uncle OJ, I think is what they used to call him. But they used to bring him on Mondays for post-football breakdowns.
Like this was like a reoccurring thing. They'd bring him on
every week, every Monday. It was Uncle OJ, every Monday or every Tuesday. And to hear him on, it was just kind of funny because at some points he couldn't hear and his audio was bad half the time. But then when he just started talking about it,
on this podcast got it. Yeah.
Is your audio bad? I always check. And
no, it's fine. I mean, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's just I need.
My brother has beef
at this point.
When we do the broken helmet, he doesn't like his audio either. And I just said, look, there's.
It's just I just need a mic, is what it is. I think that's what it is at the end of the day. But that's beside the.
Yeah. But
besides
anyway,
the point for OJ here.
OJ had. I mean, he would like have it the microphone on his computer, no headphones in, and you'd be listening to him, and he would sound like he was all the way over here, and it just completely ground the podcast to a halt. It was like,
you gotta understand when she was struggling. I mean, when they were rushing those yards the other day, there I had to make sure.
Well, let's see. O.J. Simpson, 2006 Juice.
That's what I'm talking about.
It sounds like him.
This sounds familiar. I feel there's one where he says, "The lion got loose. I'm OJ. Get juiced," or something like that.
Why do people wonder about my intentions? Why do people ask me so many questions about
this is.
How I made it to the top? About all the times I made those teams defensive stops. They say, "Coach, there's no stopping the juice." And when I'm on the field, I'm like a lion going loose. You better shoot me with a tranquilizer dog. Don't be fool, stupid.
He's serious here, huh?
I mean, as far as I'm able to tell, he is desperate for cash, and whoever offered him this was just like, "Here you go, buddy."
Can't you see the only way I live my life is large, and I got the most games with 200 plus yards.
My God. He's got a Heisman.
Get juiced.
Back in Buffalo, it's like 1, 2, 3. When we needed the big play, the ball came to me. So all you player haters and you sucker MCs, you better get on your knees and get some of these. It's an easy transition. It's like
it's so like late 80s rap.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely got that 90s like twinge to it, dude. Very, no
this
cursing.
This is when they
no,
turned
very
everything
nice.
into a rap song.
I would say this is very Will Smith. This is like the beginning of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but with a more questionable dude attached to it.
Oh my God! It's 3 minutes and 36 seconds.
We could stop here. Yeah.
I'm not doing 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the juice.
Yeah, I don't need to relive the entire murder. I mean, I'm sorry, the song. Yeah.
Get juiced. I kind of like the hook though, but yeah, late 80s they made everything into a rap song, right?
There was like some point later in life he just like came up to like one of his loved ones. He's just like, "Hey, need a back massage?" He would just grab by the neck like, "Holy Jesus, God, Orenthal, what the? Warn me next time you do that."
Orenthal. But he was huge. The point being...
Yeah, he was juiced, dude. Yeah, did you not listen to the song? Yeah.
Right, he got juiced.
Got a husband.
So if you try to take his fame in totality, I don't really think... This is what we talked about a little bit before we went on air. I don't think that you will ever, ever, ever see anything quite like what happened with him in those murders.
Well, I was going to say, it's like, there's a lot of fall from graces. Every other celebrity's being canceled this way or that nowadays. But this is something else entirely. And the craziest part, dude, is like there's some of those like canceled celebrities that are just starting to reemerge. He kind of did that.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit toward the end there.
Yeah, but everyone else is like, hey, that person who like said retarded or something on the air 10 years ago, and then their career's ruined for 5 years and they start to come back. He murdered, okay, quote unquote,
Allegedly.
allegedly murdered two people in like the most cold-blooded way possible. And people are like,
Basically decapitated.
yo, dude,
With
this
the
Jeffrey
extension of
Dahmer
like
guy,
the skin at the back of their heads kept the head together.
that's like you and me being like, guys, like I really kind of want to have Casey Anthony on the Broken Remote podcast to discuss like these children movies. I think she's got a great point about Disney, and I really want to hear what she has to say. And then she comes on with her really bad audio. I really don't think you understand is that, the girl boss that you see in today's day and age here is a little just overrated. And I'm like, thank you, Casey. That's a great point. And ignoring the fact that she killed her daughter, she does make excellent film points. I mean, just...
Well, what's funny is that today, I say that what's funny a ton, but what I got a kick out of when I was going through it was Cameron and Mace did do an Instagram post with a fond farewell to Uncle OJ.
And, cheers.
And it was
OJ
like a little golf clap. And it was like, okay, you know what? He worked for you guys, and, I don't know, you salvaged... To the people that liked him, you salvaged a little bit his persona.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that, I don't know, anybody ever let him on. Now, that show is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy Sports.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that they were okay with it. But then again, that's the whole, that's their
fantasy
show.
Fantasy sports is also like exploding, and they're just like printing money out right now. So that's a whole other conversation, though.
But it's just weird what gets canceled and what doesn't get canceled.
Yeah, this
especially
one's
right
bizarre,
now.
Dude. It's so, well, I mean, I feel like half the people canceling people nowadays are just Gen Zers that have just been grown up in an age where someone doesn't say something they like, what do you mean the Green Power Ranger's not as strong as the red one? Cancel him, get him! And they have no idea who O.J. Simpson is. So they're like, okay, this old dude, whatever.
Yeah, I think that the getting canceled is, I don't want to say it's selective. It's pretty. It's still universal, but it's selective in the sense that they definitely go after.
Pretty selective.
They go after select demographics way more than others, right?
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
dude.
Fill in the blanks at that point. But OJ did come back. He was still relevant after all this time. But again, back to '94 when it happened. I don't think that we will ever in our history, because I don't think there will be people, number one, that'll get that famous again. Now, like Taylor Swift's on a different level.
I would say the Kardashians, too. I mean, it's just like, it's a fall and a half, though, dude. It's crazy to think about just someone who is quite literally on top of the world there.
Because the population of famous people at the time was way more limited.
Yeah, I mean, also fair.
Now it's like there are so many people that are famous.
I was going to say, now there's like 80 different people that are famous for opening toys on Instagram.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Bingo.
It's like,
that's what I'm talking about.
It kind of diluted the pool here a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you go to YouTube and there's this whole thing of fame. You go to movies, there's fame. TV, there's fame. Streaming, there's fame. There's all different kinds of fandom now across the internet, because of the internet, I should say, not across it.
Yeah.
But across it and because of it. So back in the day, there wasn't. It was TV. Like, you had to go through this grind and you had to fight your way into this, this stratosphere where famous people, sat. And he was there, and he was like big time. Sports, TV, announcing, commercials. It was everything. And then this guy cut two people's heads off, allegedly. And
it's like, it's not that he, I mean, there's something like if he shot them, that's like, it's still a brutal murder, but like the fact that it was with a fucking knife, dude,
yes,
is insane. That makes it so much like, are you a Viking? Are you attacking the English right now? What is this?
And people and you didn't really comprehend it at the time because they kind of slowly leaked out the information. And I think they ultimately finally revealed those pictures, and I don't know when. But I think the pictures did finally hit online of the bodies with the heads kind of like more or less off. And
not present. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you were like, wow, he really did go fucking apeshit.
Yeah, he was a little mad. Yeah.
Now, what amplified...
OJ, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
I love a Snickers, all right? I'll pull the Snickers right out of their throats because I can do that.
Just right afterward, he's like,
That's what I
took
wanted. I
that
really
a
wanted a
little bit.
Snickers, and Goldman had just eaten one, and so I just chopped his head open and took the
figured
Snickers out like a Pez dispenser.
Say, do you think that he wrapped that up and he was just like, well, I went a little overboard there, and just
Well, now you got to kind of think. Did the CTE play? And that's
dude,
what I wanted to mention.
1,000,000%. Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
whether the family will ever give the okay to it, but it would be amazing if they ever did do a CTE, check on his brain, and then
I feel like half those
out.
guys, dude. Yeah, half those guys, their brains are like they're just clam chowder by the point they're 45, if that. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be like 90% of boxers and football players and 60% of hockey players. Like they all have CTE.
Yeah, Logan Paul, have fun while you got a chance here, dude, because it sounds like 39-year-old Logan Paul is going to be having some issues.
Right, there's issues. So, but they'll never do it. But if they came out and they were like, "Oh my God, OJ had like 99% CTE in his brain," it would be like, "Oh shit!" Now it makes a little bit more sense,
I feel like people are also going to go at the same time, going, "Yeah, no dip." The guy that brutally murdered his ex-wife and her friend or boyfriend, whatever it was.
Yeah, her friend. It was her boyfriend. I don't know.
There was some comedian. This is such a sidebar, but this comedian's talking about he's going to this hotel and he sees this guy with this very mustache, looks like the Pringles guy. He's like, why does this guy look so familiar? He keeps looking at him and he sees the guy that he's looking at him. He's like, I'm sorry, sir, I have to ask. I've seen you before somewhere. How do I know you? And the guy just gets up and he starts screaming at him, because O.J. Simpson murdered my son.
No shit.
It was Ron Goldman's father. And then the comedian responded, and I'm sure this was a bit. I'm sure he was mortified in the moment, but he apparently his response was, "No, that's not it."
That's a good bit.
It's a good bit, but you're also just like the mortification I would feel in that moment, dude. Oh my God.
I think they said that Goldman was still owed $100 million.
I'm sure. I mean, they sued him like every which way till Sunday afterward for whatever they could there.
I mean, honestly, if you think about the timeline, so we've covered everything up to the cutting the head off. But what was even crazier about that was here is this mega star who ends up killing two people. But then it's not even like you said, he didn't just shoot him. It wasn't a normal homicide. He basically butchered him. And then he got into a car and then did a full-on helicopter chase.
Right.
A la Grand Theft Auto in a white Bronco down freeways during an NBA Finals game involving the New York Knicks, at the time #1 media market in the world, that everybody was tuned into. And then they got to cut into this game, and it's like Tom Baraka being like, O.J. Simpson is on the run down the Los Angeles freeways.
That's the crazy part I don't understand is, obviously it worked. Everyone's talking about it, 20-something years later. But, actually 20 years ago, dude. 20 years ago is when this happened. Damn.
No, 30, dude. 30? 94 to 2024, 30 years ago.
I aged myself. Damn it.
But yeah, it was almost 30 years ago.
30 years ago, dude. Jeez.
It's crazy. And because there was no internet and everybody was glued into the TVs and it was during an NBA Finals game, the whole nine, everybody and their fucking brother watched that goddamn chase. Mm-hmm. There wasn't anybody that did. Everybody knows where they were. Text messages today.
I would like to say that wouldn't happen today, but then look at the Johnny Depp trial, and it feels like everyone and their mother was watching that when that was happening, and that was so much less important.
So, there's the jump off, right? So we were just saying, I was bringing up the fact that I don't think that there'll ever be another scenario like this.
No.
And if you think about it, all right, so the Depp thing is pretty recent, and that involves somebody of pretty colossal fame. Johnny Depp is big. I would say probably through his career is bigger than OJ. I don't know if he's as impactful, because he's kind of like
he's in the big movies, but he's not I feel like OJ Simpson was in your everyday life. Whereas Johnny Depp is like
Yeah.
a big figure once every 6 months or something in the new Pirates of the Caribbean or
Yeah, and I think the
what
NFL
weird
thing,
movie it is.
the NFL had an impact in that regard because people like saw him play in stadiums, whether it was USC or in Buffalo, and so it was kind of like you could touch him, you could pause, but he was tangible to the layman. Where Johnny Depp, you saw him on TV, you never saw him out in public. But I mean, something similar. There you have something where it's like, he's got this girl and she's shitting on his pillows and, also pretty crazy. I mean, he didn't cut her head off, but.
Yeah. I mean, that big differentiator there. Yeah.
But
hate to say it.
It was like a drop in the bucket compared to OJ and that whole event.
I wish I was like mentally conscious at that point, dude. Oh my God. I mean, we got so many good things. The Chewbacca defense on South Park.
Oh, I mean, think about everything that came out of that. The Chewbacca defense was awesome.
The Chewbacca defense is being taught in law. My friend who went to law school is taught the Chewbacca defense for one class, apparently.
Is it really?
Yeah, because the whole thing is the Chewbacca defense, for those who don't know, is a scene in South Park where they bring Johnny Cochran in, and he basically says, completely unrelated to the rest of the trial that's happening, like in like the South Park episode, he's like, "Well, how is Chewbacca on Endor if he is a Kashyyyk? Kashyyks are from... Chewbacca is a Wookiee, and Wookiees are from Kashyyyk. And meanwhile, he's on Endor, which is home to the little teddy bear guys. And that's not what they are. This does not make sense. So if you think that this does not make sense, then my client is innocent." And they're just like, he's just confusing the jury, so they don't know what's going on anymore. And they just feel like, I guess that makes sense. I don't want to look stupid. And that's a real argument people will do to just try to confuse the jury now.
I mean, it's basically politics nowadays.
That's exactly what it is, yeah.
They do that by both political parties. So here is the, let me see if this is going to pull up, it's going to pull up an ad first. But
100%.
But
thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, which was another historic thing, which was tied not only to OJ, but OJ's trial, which brought to fame how many people? I mean, do we have
the Kardashians?
I'm saying,
would not
do we have
be
the
here,
Kardashians without
no
OJ?
Way, no. No one would give a shit.
Do we have Chloe if we don't have OJ?
To be the most important trial
do we have Chloe?
Johnny Cochran has appeared to defend capitalist
People have been wishing her condolences on Instagram.
I love. I mean,
that's
awesome. I believe it. I believe it.
I don't know. That's what Cochran used in the O.J. Simpson trial. God damn, I hate that Cochran guy. If he was here in front of me, I'd be like, "Hey, you stupid son of a bitch! You didn't."
Oh, this is old too.
This
is like old South Park.
And so, in summation, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the version of my client's song recorded over 20 years ago. You've heard the exact same song produced by these cheats in the past month. I'd say it's pretty much an open and shut case. Make the right decision.
That's Kyle's dad.
We've got him.
Oh my God,
Johnny Cochran,
Chef.
your closing arguments.
I forgot about
Ladies
Chef.
and gentlemen of the supposed jury, Chef's attorney would certainly want you to believe that his client wrote Stinky Britches 10 years ago.
Stinky
And they make a good
Britches.
case. Hell, I almost felt pity
That's
myself.
right.
But ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, I have one final thing I want you to consider. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk. But Chewbacca lives on the planet Endor. Now think about that. That does not make sense.
Damn it. What? He's using the Chewbacca defense.
Why would a Wookiee, an 8-foot-tall Wookiee, want to live on Endor with a bunch of 2-foot-tall Ewoks? That does not make sense.
Fully
But more
committed.
importantly, you have to ask yourself, what does this have to do with this case? Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it has nothing to do with this case. It does not make sense. Look at me. I'm a lawyer defending a major record company, and I'm talking about Chewbacca. Does that make sense? Ladies and gentlemen, I am not making any sense. None of this makes sense. And so you have to remember, when you're in that jury room deliberating and conjugating the Emancipation Proclamation, does it make sense? No. Ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, it does not
Supposed
make sense.
jury.
If you're not
Supposed
to
jury.
live on Endor, you must acquit. The defense rests.
Okay, then.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's
Johnny
good.
Cochran has just finished his
And obviously, that's a reference to the actual case itself when they made it all about the isotoner gloves. And so
I will say, I mean, the most upsetting part, because I mean, if you look into Casey Anthony too, basically turns out the best, defense lawyers of all time are the ones, especially for of course, the biggest murderers out there, are the ones that they just confuse the idiot jury and be like, well, I guess I don't really know if they murdered it. No, here's all the evidence right here that she murdered her daughter.
right.
But, like, how do I know that? Like, there's a reasonable doubt. No, there's really not. But there is. And then next thing you know, they're modifying Facebook pages for people nowadays.
Right, exactly. I thinking about that trial.
It does not make sense.
I don't even think, even though the isotoner gloves really just was so fantastic, but I don't think that jury was going to convict OJ anyway, right?
No.
Because, as historians who know more than I have said, that it really was kind of more or less a backlash to the Rodney King trial when they let all the L.A. officers off, and it was just that jury was not going to convict OJ regardless.
Yeah.
But the theatrics of it were so fantastic, and him just standing there trying to fit the goddamn glove on, and then he just puts his hands up all angry, like, "Oh, you motherfuckers, these gloves don't fit."
No, the glove that will prove me guilty if I put it on. I can't make it.
And if you think how stupid it is to fucking put the glove, to put the gloves on in the middle of a...
Dude, it's a whole Seinfeld episode about that, where the one has to wear a bra. Like, why would you put a key piece of evidence in the defendant's hand?
Well, think about now everything that comes out of that. We were just talking, Kardashians come out of that, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Which is, dual Kardashians.
Bane of society. All of them.
It's the actual Robert,
clan,
and then the whole clan afterward.
Yeah.
F. Lee Bailey makes a name for himself. Cochran makes a name for himself. Cochran went on to defend a bunch of other people. Who was...
and I'm sure he did just fine doing
Shapiro. it. Shapiro was the other one, right? Shapiro and Cochran were 1 and 2. And then they had F. Lee Bailey and Dershowitz.
Who were the two that defended, or the prosecutors who, basically, effed off to the middle of nowhere after...
Well, the prosecutors were... who was the chick?
The girl had the interesting haircut that everyone made fun of.
It was the black dude, and then the chick who gave herself a perm in the middle of it.
Yeah, not a good move. Not a smart move there.
Yeah. Well, have you ever they did a great job with the
miniseries was great. Yeah.
Yes. On FX.
I'm honestly gonna probably rewatch it this week now. This weekend.
It was great. It's definitely worth another watch because
my one complaint about it is Cuba Gooding Jr. You're a great actor. You do not look like OJ at all.
I see the picture of her. I can't find any. I want to say Marsha Clark.
Marsha Clark.
I think Marsha Clark is it. Yeah. I found a picture of the other prosecutor, Chris Darden. Chris Darden was the one that she was teamed up with. So, and I'm pretty sure it was Marsha Clark. I can't find anything, but I look at it. It's got to be Marsha Clark. That's the name that's ringing in my ears right now. So Marsha Clark and Darden end up being the two prosecutors. She does the whole crazy hair thing. It's like, and then they get blamed for losing that case when it's kind of like, dude, I don't know if you lost it. I think it was just predetermined. But again, I don't think even somebody such as what do you call Pirates of the Caribbean? We're just talking about Johnny Depp. That pales in comparison. It doesn't move the needle like the OJ thing does.
No.
The OJ thing was just, and I don't think you could ever get what would you need to? You need to be something like Mr. Beast, killing his mom or something like that.
Today on YouTube, what I'm going to do is murder my mom and see if this video can get 100 million views.
That's what it's got. I mean, I don't know of anybody because there's so many famous people. But there's nobody that has
Beast,
that impact.
Mr. Beast wouldn't surprise me if he's the next one, but he would also be like, today I'm going to take this war-ravaged country, side with one part of them, and then decimate and declare myself emperor. Let's see if we can make this happen. And just like, well, I'll watch 20 minutes of this.
And don't forget to smash that like button.
Smash the like and subscribe button.
And it was funny because I said I would never say smash the subscribe button. I don't think I've ever said subscribe to the podcast in any show. But
no, subscribe. I'll say it. Subscribe, you chimp.
Subscribe. Yeah, I'm not saying smash the fucking like button though. But I was like,
I'll say it too. Yes, like it right now, or else I'll find you. Yeah.
Now, as podcasts have just exploded, and you think that they would at some point stop getting big, and they just keep getting more plentiful.
The more we're locked into our homes because remote work has taken off.
The
more you're just like, I guess I'll listen to this while I'm typing away.
But again, I listen to a ton of content, and I hear like 50, 60-year-olds being like, smash that like button and make sure to subscribe.
Those ones are my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
I go,
like when
shit,
I like
dude.
when you see grandpas like playing those war games like Apex Legends or COD or something like that, and they're like, I was a sniper, now I'm sniping this 12-year-old across the map.
And then they're just like, what happened? I don't understand.
Some of them are good, dude. Some of them they're like, it's like, fucking pussy. Just like, god damn, dude.
So I would like to say that I'm a pretty solid gamer for an old dude.
I would say I'm a younger dude, and I'm definitely not. I still get my butt whooped by everyone.
Yeah,
who play
in
against
the
online.
day, at least, because it was a lot more regional. So, video game, masters were regional. But I was in there. I could hold my own for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I thought that would carry over to this new generation. I play, Fortnite with both my kids, and now I play with their friends because they're all in this Fortnite tear. I thought Fortnite would have happened years and years ago, but more kids have just joined the fray in the past year and a half. So I play with all these kids that range from probably 8 years old to 14, and these kids destroy me. I mean, it's not even a game. These kids are so much better, and I'm like, how many fucking hours must you spend on this game to get like this?
Me and my friend, like we'll play like the competitive games. I'm pretty trash at most of them, honestly. But the crazy part, one is they don't have jobs. They go to school. They have they're like an hour of homework, and then they can just plug away on this game, dude. The other part is just some people out there, like the streamers especially, they rack up like beyond thousands of hours in these games.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
they
like
don't get
10,000 hours. 10,000
Pause.
hours to. Oh.
I said they don't get off, and then I said pause.
Pause. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. I was saying, but yeah, dude, they never leave, dude. They have like literally they would to master a piano they have in one shooter game or something like that, and then they're screaming about it on Reddit the rest of their lives. Like there's just that's just some people, dude.
And there's a whole nother level where you play against guys and you go guys. Because there's so many girls now that play too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you go against this whole populated.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, where's the A button? Is the one that says A? Oh, I can't see it. And then she she pushes her arms together and
But
can you show me on the controller? Can you see it right here?
That's okay. So that's what I.
Oh my
think
god,
of
you gave
the
me $10,000 because you showed me where the A button is. That's so sweet. Love you. Yeah.
Make sure to join my OnlyFans.
Yeah,
this
join
is
my
Twitch.
OnlyFans. It's only $5 a month. It's so sweet of you. Maybe I'll talk to you.
If you like me on Twitch, you can see me for 30 minutes every night on my OnlyFans.
I wish I had a nice boyfriend like you. Oh man, he's like, I hate you and everything you stand for, but I respect how much money you're getting.
Okay, is there an easier track to financial freedom than being a 22-year-old
actually, yes, there is
sexy
one
chick that is willing to, let's say, go for it all, right?
Yeah, there is one. There's one I could think of off the top of my head.
Winning the fucking Mega Millions?
No. Much easier than see that entitles you to. You have to go out and you have to buy a card for yourself.
Okay. What's the easier one?
It's one word. Starts with an N.
Okay.
Nepotism. Yeah.
Okay,
that's straightforward, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's some Brazil chick who just got a fucking $1 billion from her grandfather.
From her dad or whatever.
Yeah, her grandfather who owned like a portion of some big company over there. She's 19. She has like $1.1 billion.
I go online and I can't tell you. Now, I'm not saying, again, maybe some of these girls are good at all of these things, but there are girl traders, girl video gamers, girl, girl sports card collectors, girl gamblers, girl bettors. And the funny thing about all of these, pseudo-famous females, and, the guys are different, so that's why I'm picking out the girls here, though.
Yeah.
Is that the one thing that's universally the same about all of these internet famous chicks? None of them are 300 pounds with a double chin and like a lazy eye.
It's very fat phobic. It's very fat phobic of you right now. This is a very progressive podcast.
You're
if you don't pay attention, yeah.
Because I hate to say it, the reason that these chicks are so goddamn fucking popular is not because of the content of their character.
What are you talking? What?
I'm sorry.
It is not the content of their character, but the size of their bras.
Big boobies.
How large the cat ears they have on their headsets are. That is what we fight for. On Twitch.
And they're not even like
Dude, there's some
they
people
can't be
listening to this
plain
right
Jane.
now.
They could
There's
be
some
super
people-
cute and plain Jane, and it won't work. You
I
gotta
have-
be like really slutty sexy,
Mhm.
or you have to fit a niche. But
It-
like you were saying, some people
I
listening.
was going to say, because some people listening, dude, they're going to hear this, what we're saying right now. They're going to go, what the hell are you talking? I've heard of OnlyFans. What is a streamer? What is a booby streamer?
No.
And I just look, there's got to be some people that don't know. I assume. I mean,
maybe people don't understand the breadth of.
it's existed since the beginning of time, but it's the next phase in human evolution, the booby streamer of girl that would, wear low cut socks in the 18th century England. They go, I can see her ankle. My gosh.
Yes. So in my day, because I'm a little bit older than you, Brittany had not broke through the slutty wardrobe yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the sexiness that we got when I was in high school was the bodysuit. Ooh. Chicks
Like
that
what
wore the
Superman wore. Nice.
bodysuit was like, whoa, hello, that is really form-fitting. I likey. And the bodysuit, for those that don't know, was the girls might know. but
I'm looking it up now.
it was basically just a super tight, like one-piece bathing suit.
Damn, dude.
The
Yeah, okay,
buckles
that's
were
a lucky-
down by the pee-pee. Well, not the pee-pee, unless you're a trans.
I was going to say, what kind of women are you looking at? Is my follow-up question to that one. Yeah.
It's down by the area.
Caitlyn Jenner looked great in her bodysuit. Yeah, that's what that statement was.
Exactly. So, Caitlyn Jenner did look great in her bodysuit. So, and that was what was sexy. They didn't, you never saw belly. You barely, this was the closest you were going to get to like cleavage, at least it like form fit and like, push the boobs up.
I
But
do
sexy.
remember high school when that started happening, when like the girls were like, I can get attention by doing this, and then just every dude that was just having puberty just smacked them in the face as these girls who hit it a year before, and at first it was not registering on our radar for some of us at all. We're like, it's weird, okay, and then the next year you're going. Basically the Looney Tunes equivalent of your eyes bulging out of your head and your tongue lolling out. Dude, in my fifth grade,
You have an explosion over your head like the emoji.
Yeah, dude. There was a girl in my fifth grade class who she came in wearing spaghetti straps or something like that in fifth grade. We're 10.
Brittany
she's wearing
broke the fucking mold. She
Yeah.
As soon as she hit, then everybody was just wearing all kinds of
and human civilization has been going on.
If you think about the people that have impacted our society, the OJs, the Britneys, they're usually not like the top notch.
I was going to say, yeah. You want a lot of people like
humanity.
Abraham Lincoln really improving your society as a whole, but for every one of him, you get 8 John Wilkes Booths that really just torpedo any chance that we have as a civilization.
Yeah, when you look back, you take the past, 4 presidents, and will any of them have as big an impact as Britney or Kim Kardashian or Kanye?
It depends on how big their game show was. How big was their game show on TV? Otherwise,
it was huge.
whatever.
It was huge.
Huge.
It was huge. But yeah, the girls, that was the sexiest you were getting. But now, like you were saying, you were in 5th grade, all of a sudden girls started breaking out all this shit.
Now they're openly getting ass implants and twerking on stage, and
Yes.
Miley Cyrus, who people keep trying to tell me is talented, and I refuse to believe it because her voice sounds like this, and she's literally 2 months older than me.
The ass implant, I just don't understand it.
No, I think don't you take this away from me, because this is my favorite thing to
Wouldn't
look
you
at.
feel it in your ass?
Oh, for you, first off, you see it very obviously too, because it always looks like. Have you seen a baby with a full diaper?
Yes, I have 2 kids, so I've seen a couple of them.
So that's what it looks like to me, because I've only seen it when I visit my parents in Miami, and I don't like it because it looks attractive. I like it because there's these women that will walk around Miami thinking they are the bee's knees with the most Frankenstein monster looking butt I have ever seen in my life, where they're like, yeah, like what you see. And you're like, that is horrific to look at. I cannot look away. It's like a Lovecraftian monster that turns you blind the more you stare at it.
It is
and
the,
like they're thinking,
it is
yeah,
the
it's
Kraken,
just-
with a crack.
every single one of them, dude, is its own episode of Botched. I'm just saying, it is
Another
fascinating to look
weird
at.
show that we probably spend, an entire week of podcast on is that fucking Botched.
Yeah, that's another one where you're like, why is this popular? And then you watch and you're like, damn, I'm kind of getting it.
It is fun to watch these fucking freak shows.
Yeah.
And the terrible goddamn fucking surgeries that they've had.
Well,
going
it feels
all over
good,
the
too.
place. For what reasons, I don't know. And then it's like, yeah, you got a Brazilian butt lift from some guy in the Sudan.
Yeah, you're from some dude named Mark. Like, what do you think was going to happen? What do you think Mark was going to do for you?
You flew to Sudan to get this butt lift, and it was a
Yeah.
Brazilian butt lift. So shouldn't you went to Brazil? But why'd you go there? And
It's also because in Botch, dude, it's not like the people that are getting like the plastic surgery are just, this is Frank, who saved 4 small children from a burning building, but at the cost of like part of his face being like burnt horrifically. And now we're going to, repair him to make him look, relatively
Yes.
more normal. It's always like, this is Jessica, and she always thought her nostrils were kind of far apart. So she's going to get that fixed today. But what Jessica doesn't know is there's about to just be one nostril at the end of this episode.
And they show you, and the people are so fucked up. But anyway, I mean, we digress. So, I mean, going back to that, to the before, it was just, all these girls. I to finish up about the clothing. My wife is now the high school field hockey coach, and me, I'll bring my kids up, and we'll watch the games and root her on and everything. But when the weather is nice, some of the people that come to watch these games, some of the girls from the school. I mean, they were anywhere high school, so it's going to be 14 to 18 years old.
Yeah.
And they literally have like yoga pants and a sport bra on.
Yeah.
And it's completely normal. Like, there's no difference.
Totally normal now. Hey, listen, when I was in high
difference.
school,
There's no
when I was in high
qualms
school-
about it.
When I was in high school, that was awesome. I was like, hell yes, let's go.
I never
And
saw
now-
anything close to that.
And dude, and now at 30 years old, I see like younger people wearing that. I go, can you stop? This is not okay.
I'm cool with it. I think in college, I think the high school, and I'm sure in high school,
I was very cool with it in college.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
and I'm sure in high school it probably doesn't seem like anything. But as a parent, like if it was I can't, who am I to fucking talk? But
I'm turning Amish when I have children. Yeah, they're all going to be wearing long dresses and going on Rumspringa. It's their one exposure to.
like, I guess the girl pushes back and she's just like, Mom, Dad, everybody is wearing this. There's nothing
Yeah.
different than what everybody else is wearing. And then you're kind of like, well, do that
Dad,
in
all the
college.
cool
Don't
kids
do
are
it
wearing
now.
it.
You're 14 years old. Like, I don't, but, again,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily understand.
This is the broken conservative. We are a conservative
Broken
podcast.
conservative. Okay, yeah. All right. So then off of that, and we're back to OnlyFans.
Back to OJ
and fame.
murdering people and yeah.
Well, that girls,
went for it.
the girls that end up becoming internet famous, you're not going to be ugly. You're going to have to be
No.
good looking, right? So that's the way that it goes. But even the internet fame people, there's only going to be a handful that could even touch, what OJ had done. So maybe like if a Mr. Beast had killed somebody, I don't know. What are some of the other big time gamer internet like celebs? Is Ninja a guy?
Is he still big? He was
I
making
don't
like
know.
$1 million a year, something like that. But then there's that Amaranth chick, dude, who's exactly what we were talking about before, the booby streamers. She's making like 3 times that a year. And she's just and that's not even counting OnlyFans, which she's just burning shekels. I mean, she's a whole other. Don't look up Amaranth. Actually, do look up Amaranth and look at some of the things that she's done to make money.
What's her name? Anne Moran?
Amaranth, like the shade of red, is what it's like named after.
Amaranth,
Amaranth, I think. Yeah, she's like one of the biggest people on Twitch or those streaming platforms.
Twitch.
She's done some things, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
Amaranth.
I respect her as a businesswoman, but my God.
Oh, Jesus.
I
She's got
know.
really, really red hair. But again,
Yeah.
red hair. It is a patent leather red bra top with just boobies, knocked together.
That's what those are. Oh,
Yeah. She was born 93, so she's your age.
what am I doing in my life, dude? That's what it's telling me right now.
Born in
Just-
Houston, Texas. Now, is this the Twitch streamer? If I've seen the stories, they accused her of cheating.
I feel like it's most of them, dude.
No, I thought everybody was like, this girl's full of shit. She's a fucking cheater.
Probably.
There
that
was
wouldn't
one
surprise
girl
me.
that I remember.
Dude,
they went
she's
nuts
a few
on.
years, she's 2 months younger than me. What am I doing in my life? My God.
She began streaming Twitch in 2016. So she's 2016. How old were you in 2016?
I was
23.
Yeah, it was 23, something like that. Yeah.
23. So she started when she's
22,
23.
23.
And now she's 30-ish, 29, 30. So, I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I personally, I grew up in the wrong decade. I was about 15 years too early because I would have been doing all this stuff in college, and I would have been good because I was fucking so awesome at fucking video games. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. But who can you name the top 3 people you think could be an OJ if they killed somebody?
Oh, be an OJ if they killed
But
someone today.
can't be bigger than OJ. So like, get rid of Taylor Swift.
I was going to say Taylor Swift's kind of my number one right now, dude.
Yeah, she's way bigger than OJ ever was.
Yeah. Yeah, she's universal at this point. I mean, who's like the big celebrity now? I feel like there's no like real like band like the Beatles that's taken over the nation. Like any sports star is just, it feels like there's such a half-life. Like Travis Kelce's had a big year. That is entirely because he's just a remora underneath the great white shark that is Taylor Swift.
What happens if Steve Carell?
I feel like his star is like fading compared to what, like if this was like fresh after The Office, then maybe. But like, is there any like?
But see, fresh after The Office, I think OJ might still be bigger than Steve Carell. Maybe Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell 10 years ago.
Will Ferrell might be there. Yeah, Steve Carell, no, but Will Ferrell maybe.
Because some of them are just like washed, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. Yeah, and you can see it happening.
Pete Davidson.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that's a good answer. I'm glad I just thought of that one. Okay, that's solid.
So it could
Pete
be.
Davidson.
It would be like a modern day Pete Davidson, cutting Kourtney Kardashian's head off.
And every dude on the internet whose girlfriend has ever said, "I kind of understand why girls date him." Every dude, myself included, be like, "Huh? Look at him now. After what I told you."
And then he was in
Fuck this
like
guy.
a Mini Cooper with Horatio Sands driving. I don't even think.
Okay,
think
wait. Are you writing this down? Because I want this. This is a good.
This is a
This is
movie.
another pitch. This is another pitch right here.
Another movie pitch that
Yeah.
you could just take from us. So
I was going to say, yeah. Who are the defendants in our movie here? Well, obviously Pete Davidson's the big one, but
I
who
think
is
Horatio Sands was too early. I think Bobby Moynihan maybe.
Yeah, Bonnie Moynihan. Just make it an SNL cast. We're gonna have John Mulaney be John Cochran. I think that'd be good. Yeah.
It really
They're friends in real
is
life.
the
Yeah, they're
gift
friends.
that'll keep on giving. People will be talking about OJ for the next 40 years.
I mean, God knows I'm going to. I'm literally gonna either re-listen to a podcast on him tonight, dude, after we're done here, or just start rewatching that O.J. Simpson versus the People show because I'm pretty sure that's on Max.
You fucking watch. We are 10 years away from OJ being like a super popular Halloween costume again.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree with you slightly.
Really?
I'm gonna say this Halloween.
Oh,
It's gonna be
yeah.
super Halloween.
He could make a comeback this Halloween because
I
it
think
is super fresh.
It's gonna be
Still
a
not
little
acceptable
topical.
though, right? Because the bloody knife and the.
We'll see. When I wear it out, I'll let you know how people feel about it. I think the costume will be okay. The blackface people may not be as okay about, but otherwise, I think it's going to go together.
Well, no, you just got to get the latex mask, right?
That's what I got to do. And just
Yeah.
make sure you have one glove like Michael Jackson. So I know either way. If the one costume's not working out, I'm like, no, Michael Jackson halfway through.
Fake knife,
Yeah.
isotoner gloves, black isotoner gloves, OJ mask. And and then you could put on whatever people
Exactly.
like to do football shoulder pads and all the whole rest, or you get done one of his suits from the court case. It doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
Yeah, OJ will be making a reappearance. He'll never die. He'll
And
be
the,
he'll
and the
live
whole
on
night
in
you're
Halloween
just like,
infamy.
oh, it's the glove's not going on. It's so weird.
So that was the big event of today. That's what made Thursday, April 11th, super historic.
Yeah, there was a solar eclipse. No one cares. Means nothing to us compared to.
Nobody cares about that. There was
Yeah.
an earthquake last Friday.
That was fun. Did you feel that? That was fun.
Oh yeah, I felt that one. I was at work, and then Allie had taken the kids to Legoland, and so all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and house starts shaking a little bit. I think that there's a big tractor trailer or something coming down. Because
that's what I was figuring.
Yeah, because they were doing work next door anyway. I said, "Oh man, what the hell are they hauling in?" And I look out the window. There's nothing there. I said, "Oh shit." And then all of a sudden, it started shaking even more. And I remember that random earthquake from like 4 years ago or something. That like people were like, "Oh, did you feel it?" And I was like, "No, I didn't feel that." And I said, "Holy shit, I think this might be an earthquake." That's the only thing I can think of. I actually opened a door and stood in the door frame.
That was smarter than what I did, dude. I literally, it started happening at first. I was like, is there a subway near me? Like, no. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Then part of me was figuring, because I was like, earthquake? No, it can't be an earthquake because it's New York City. Like, when does that happen? I literally thought there was a sinkhole under the building and I was just going down. And I hate to say it, I was like, well, at least I don't have to work the rest of the day, which is a bad thought to have. But here we are.
My day is off. Yeah, but as soon as that happened, I wrote Allie a text and I said, "Hey, I think we just had an earthquake." And maybe right after I hit send, there were like 3-4 emails in like group chats being like, "Did anybody feel that? Did anybody feel that?"
Everyone's like, "Did you feel that?" Like all of work productivity just stopped for like 20 minutes, and it was like, "What?"
And then you knew that it was an earthquake, and it was And did you watch the SNL this weekend?
No, I did not. No. Who's hosting even?
SNL this weekend was hosted by, it was her 5th time. It was
Sydney Sweeney. I'll watch it.
I'd watch that again. Catherine Wig, right?
Wig. Oh, Kirsten Wig. Oh, Kirsten Wig.
Kirsten
Wig. The Twilight chick, right? Who's like super weird now?
Yeah. Well, she's kind of an actress, but she still plays the goofy, I follow all over the place, skinny comedy girl. But Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. I love her. Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah, the episode was not good because they really wrote shit for her to work with.
She was so much fun. I love her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people like the episode.
Who was I think? I was thinking of the chick from Twilight. Who was that? Who dated Robert Pattinson? Kirsten Wiig's fantastic.
Oh, from Twilight. I forgot her name. Something Johnson? No, I don't remember.
What's her name? Kirsten Stewart is who I was thinking. Yeah, she's psychotic.
Stewart. Okay.
Yeah. Kirsten Stewart's bananas. Kirsten Wiig's hilarious. I love her.
Yeah. So, but the best skit of the night, I thought, was they brought on who's the younger Latino comedian actor they have on now that he does a lot of stuff with accents, and he kind of always amps up, kind of like the Latin, character if they need one. If I'll send you the link to the show, but I don't know the actor name because he's one of the newer cast members. But he came on as the New York earthquake. And then, he just did his whole shtick, and it was pretty funny. And then they brought on Kenan Thompson, and he was the solar eclipse. And so then he did his shtick, and there was, a quick eclipse versus the earthquake. It was very funny. I thought it was a good thing. And, again, much like SNL, Weekend Update's pretty hit or miss, but it was a good bit for Weekend Update. So that's who, and I don't know, I forget who the musical actor was, but it was nobody that I knew.
Yeah.
Which
is some dude. Yeah, that's all we need to know.
Yeah, it was somebody, whatever it was. But so yeah, if you haven't seen SNL, go watch at least the earthquake skit. The rest of the skits are kind of eh. But where the fuck was I going with that? It was SNL because it was
SNL.
Earthquake. No, it was the earthquake. We were going to the earthquake and the fact that
sign of end times. Yes, so solar eclipse into earthquake. Yeah, it's a 2-shot combo right there, dude. It's gonna make every astrologist person just lose their mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the perfect trifecta, right? You got earthquake, solar eclipse,
and tax season.
OJ passing away.
That too.
And OJ passing away.
The coming of the end.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. World War III is next. Once OJ's gone, what
so
else
stay
is there?
tuned for next week's Broken Remote episode where we document World War III as China officially declares war on Madagascar, and that's where it all kind of just wraps up from there.
Yeah, it's true. Well, there was so much other stuff to get into, but I mean, OJ is just, he's a planet.
He deserves an episode.
His gravitational force is just too much. But I mean, literally,
Yeah.
they had that Comic-Con, not Comic-Con. They had CinemaCon out in Vegas. And it wrapped up today. And today was like the big hitter. And you had like Rock presenting a whole bunch of Moana.
Black Adam 2.
Moana 2. Remember he went back into the well to try to get himself a hit.
God, yeah.
And
so
they
it's like the Will Smith
showed
effect all over again, dude.
Yeah, they showed the Deadpool and Wolverine. They showed a whole bunch
That
of
trailer
footage
was
from that.
fun. I saw the new Joker trailer that popped on my YouTube the other day. That was cool.
Oh, really? Oh, I couldn't.
I like the first one.
The first one was okay.
it's very artsy, but like,
yeah,
it's a movie. It's a movie I'm going to watch once and go, "That was a really well done movie," but I'm never going to watch it again. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
a different type.
It's kind of like Taxi Driver all over again. It's just it's weird to me.
Yeah.
The part about it is that I thought like the Joker character at the end would have been so much more of a personality. It just kind of was like, oh no.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was like a different take on it, but it was.
Yeah, it was just a crazy person. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally different. They just kind of had like a Batman theme in the background. Like, oh, there's a Batman thing. There's a Batman thing. But it was really just kind of an artsy movie at the end of the day.
Yeah, he was just such a weird character. I just never saw the Joker as that much of a.
It's not a superhero movie. I feel like they had to use that backdrop to get it made. Honestly, for like that big of a budget, they're like, no, it's the Joker. Get it, guys?
Yeah, well,
I do think it was really well done. Once again, it's not like The Martian or like some other movie where if it's on, I see it on like in a room. If I walk into it, I'm going to sit down and watch the whole thing. I will walk out of the room if I see the Joker on again. It's only worth the one watch. I thought it was good.
I got you. Yeah, there's the one watch movies, and then you're done with it. But yeah, now the one you're talking about is Foil Adieu. That is coming up next. That's going to be with Gaga.
With Lady Gaga.
Gaga, which it kind of comes across as kind of a musical. I don't know. It's something weird. But,
that's apparently what they're doing, dude.
And what's also odd about that movie is that the director of it is Todd Phillips.
Yeah, he did the last one.
Yeah, I know. And if you're wondering why that is odd, it's because he was a fucking comedic director.
He did all the 3 Hangover movies.
He did the fucking Hangovers.
Well, he did a podcast with someone. He talked about it. Like, why don't you do you were like the last great comedy movies like of the country. Like, why aren't you doing those? And he basically just says like everyone loses their mind on set or your script. It's like it's just easier this way right now, and that's why he's doing.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Because I think you could probably see his steering, his veering toward this from the first Hangover to the third Hangover, because the third Hangover is such a departure. Like, it's not really a comedic movie. It was kind of like
I thought it was pretty comedic, but it was also it wasn't like the first one was just.
It was more like an action caper. It was weird.
Yeah, but I still thought it was fun. The first one, dude, was just the shock value of it that first time. Just me and my dad in the theater. We were sobbing, laughing the entire time.
Thoroughly
I have not laughed that hard in a movie, I honestly think, since then.
But that's hysterical. You said that. I had a conversation maybe a month ago when we were talking. I think I had this conversation multiple times in my life, but it is when was the last good R-rated movie that you saw, or the last movie that made you just fucking laugh and fall on the ground? And I swear to God, I think Hangover is the one that everybody says every single time.
I can't think of the other one, dude.
I mean, Superbad is up there, but Hangover was funnier, and I think Hangover came after Superbad. I think Superbad was 07, good. Hangover was 09.
Yeah, Superbad came first. I thought Superbad was good, but just like I was too young at the time, so I was not getting like the high school stuff as much personally. I was like,
oh god, there's some fucking one-liners in Superbad. I could still watch Superbad too.
Superbad's a great movie. It's a great movie.
But
the Hangover
was it wasn't just shock value. The Hangover is just written so good.
It's so good.
The punchlines are all over the place. Bradley Cooper is fucking phenomenal in that movie.
Yeah, everyone. Like, Zach Galifianakis, Ed Helms. Ed Helms was like whatever as an actor. Then you see that movie and you go, oh my goodness.
Bradley Cooper should have won a fucking Oscar for that movie because he was that good in it. I mean, god damn, that movie was good. But yes, to your point, I don't know of a movie since the 09, 2010 Hangover, whichever year it came out, that has made me laugh as hard.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no comedy. They made that Bros movie about like the two gay guys with the romantic comedy like a year or something ago that no one saw and no one's attempted since.
Yeah, I just don't think you can go for it like you did when they came out with a Hangover. Again, there's just one-liners in it. Paging Dr. Faggot. You can't do anything like that again.
Dr. Faggot.
Yeah.
Paging Dr. Faggot.
You better go, Dr. Faggot.
Yeah, such a great line.
Such a great line. But I mean, and it goes on and on and on with all the things that you look at that movie and they're like, I don't even think they would do that anymore. I mean, the drugs and drugging the tiger, which isn't that big of a deal because it's supposed to be funny, but I don't know if you get away with that now.
I'm sure PETA flipped out about it back then too. But like, yeah, PETA is the most worthless organization of all time if you look into it.
I mean, the fact that the baby is in the entire movie, I don't know if that would get approved.
Right.
I mean, the baby is in every single bad situation. When they're fucking shooting up the fucking car and everything. Was he in the baby was in with the car, right? Because
I think so. Yeah,
I don't remember.
maybe he was out at that point.
I don't remember, but anyway.
Yeah, still a great movie though.
Yeah. Oh, I think they dropped him off with her.
The mom or something at that point.
Yeah, because I think they were at the by themselves. They were at the church, the church they got married at. That's what I'm trying to say. You stuttering idiot. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, there was Deadpool, like I said. There was Captain America 4 that came out, which everybody's shitting on. They said that the early screenings were just terrible. They're reshooting the whole.
Oh, another one?
Thing.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, well, they're doing the one with Mackie as Captain America, right?
Dude, they're just not able to catch a break right now. But that's what happens when you are quite literally kicking a dead horse and just for miles upon miles after it's done. It's just.
Yeah, but and then the one last thing of note that, I mean, there's a lot of things of note out of CinemaCon, but I was super impressed to read that they're going to do another Transformer movie, but an animated one. So the first one since the 85
you
Transformer
have my
animated
curiosity. One. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, because I would like to see that. And they got like Chris Hemsworth and Scarlett Johansson to be two of the voices. And that's impressive.
Dude, I don't care about them at all. Bring back Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime.
Well, I'm sure he is.
He better be. Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
dude's
he is.
80. Do you watch that show Invincible on Amazon Prime?
I haven't, but I heard it's good.
It is so. I mean, there's a twist in the first episode, so I'm not because you start the show off and you're like, looks like a regular superhero show. Quickly, by the end of the first episode, you go, oh, they're mixing this up a bit. Okay, I'm sure you've seen it. But Peter Cullen's in that too, voicing a character in the new season, and you're just like, oh yeah.
I don't think
Optimus
I could
Prime.
hear
We got
him.
it everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think I could hear him do anything else because if I heard him do something else, I would just hear Optimus Prime.
He voiced a lot of stuff. Like there's this Toonami thing they would play like shows on when I was a kid on Cartoon Network, and introducing the new show where a guy with a sword kills an orc, and you're like, yes, Optimus Prime.
It's Optimus.
Yes.
It's Optimus.
It just I know that guy's voice to this day gets me hyped.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, they're doing another one, and the first one back in '85 was huge on several reasons because the cartoon at the time was really big, and the other part that made it big was the fact that they killed off the main characters.
Spoilers!
In like the first hour of the movie, and everybody was sitting there. Kids are crying in the theaters because Optimus Prime died.
Well, Peter Cullen. Last thing about him, I guess, just because. But he was like, okay, that was a fun like role for a little bit there. And after Optimus Prime died after that movie, I think they do this in the Toys That Made Us show or something like that on Netflix. He's like, I have never received as many letters in my life.
Yeah.
Like screaming for me to come back. That's when, and then like Hasbro was like, yeah, we knew like Optimus was like a popular character. We're like, okay, we'll just make some new stuff. We didn't know how popular he was until that movie, and people were screaming at us to bring him back.
I still remember being pissed off I didn't get to go see it in the theaters. And then I heard that he died, and everybody was like, yeah, don't go see it because it sucks. He dies, and everybody else that replaces him is terrible. But anyway, they're doing this new movie now. We'll see what they do with that. But, I mean, it's the first animated movie in a while. They did the animated shows on Netflix, which were kind of like, They were a little slow. I don't know if you watched all 3 of them. I watched the first 1.5 legs of the series, and I didn't finish it because it was just too late. But.
Yeah. So we'll get back to it. Yeah, but next week, any shows to look out for? I know you're watching Aliens.
Oh, I don't know. Well, yeah, I did. I watched Aliens with my oldest son, and it's still the best Aliens movie, and it's just a fantastic war movie. It really is a fucking one of the best on war movies
first one?
Ever. Second one.
I haven't seen it in years. Oh, the second one. Okay,
second
I was going to say.
Aliens. Yeah, no, I didn't watch Alien because Aliens is
horror.
the best one.
Aliens horror. The first one. Yeah, the second one's totally different type of movie there.
Completely different. Aliens with an S is just, it's a war movie, and it's fantastic.
It inspired the Metroid series, which is one of my favorite video game series of all time. So I'm down for that.
I'm also a big fan of it, but so quotable, and there's a lot of comedy in that one as well. But that's the one that I watched with them. But other than that, I went to go see. We saw I went with the kids and we saw something in the theater, kid movie. Ghostbusters, which we talked about last week.
Yeah, we talked about
I'm trying to go see Dune 2 still. We talked about that, or I want to go see the Godzilla Kong because it's just done pretty good numbers.
I mean,
and I hear it's not terrible, which I don't believe.
Okay, first off. We both know it's going to be terrible. Okay, let me rephrase. The human parts are going to be terrible and the most useless thing of all time, but the monster fights are going to be everything our inner 12-year-olds want them to be. I can already tell. The guy has a bone whip, dude. Like, there's no way that's going to be bad. That's just so cool to think about.
I mean, I just want to see what they did because on TV, it looks like it's going to be a very bad video game.
Oh, 100%.
So, if it actually looks legit on the screen and the CGI looks better, then I'm all for it. And it's done so these are the past 4 movies that were on top, right? That came out number 1 on the weekends. Dune 2, Kung Fu Panda, Ghostbusters.
Heard that was really bad.
And Godzilla. So I have their total cumes up here so far. Do you want to tell me which one comes in at number 1?
I'm going to say Kong. Which is sad because I like Dune so much.
Incorrect. Kong is not it. It is Dune.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, good.
It is Dune. Dune comes in at $667 million. The domestic international split is about 40-60 in favor of international. Do you want to guess who is number 2?
You say Kung Fu Panda, Dune,
Ghostbusters, and Godzilla.
I'm going to say Ghostbusters is number 2.
Incorrect. You are incorrect.
Kung Fu Panda?
Coming in number 2 is Kung Fu Panda, yes. At almost $420 million.
Dude,
so
oh no.
$240 million off of first place. And that also had a split of 40-60 in favor of international money coming in. So 420. So now we've got Godzilla and Ghostbusters. Which one comes in next?
I'm going to say Kong now, which is weird because I feel like I would assume that Ghostbusters did better, but I guess it's just not that.
Is that your final answer?
Kong is still in theaters, so I'm assuming it's got some steam behind that engine. How's Ghostbusters doing?
Well, your final answer for number 3.
Yeah, that's my final answer.
Correct. 307, just under $370 million. And that leaves poor little Ghostbusters as the 4th place runner with a measly total of $140 million. And the biggest issue here is that all of these other movies basically come down to 40-60% in favor of international money. Right now, the Ghostbusters latest addition to the franchise is coming in at 65-35 in favor of domestic. So they've only done $50 million in international money, which is pathetic. I mean, $50 million in the international market means that basically nobody gives a fuck.
They're not doing great.
No. I mean, that's nothing. It's nothing.
It's nothing. Doing pretty trash there.
I would be shocked if Ghostbusters got another movie.
All right, but for next week, what do we think we're talking about here?
Oh, I don't know. Let's leave it open because we
Leave it
didn't know
open.
OJ was going to die today.
That's fair. We didn't know.
You know,
maybe there's another earthquake.
Yeah, we don't know if Will Ferrell, murders his wife, next week.
Okay.
That could
Knock
happen
on wood,
between
that
now and then.
doesn't happen. Don't need that in my life.
I mean, you never know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But until then, keep your eyes out, and we'll watch the inner tubes and the movie theaters and the rest. And you let me know because by the time we get here next week, we'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
it
who
usually
knows what's
happens.
gonna happen.
But keep tuned. Everybody else, enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's fucking Friday. Well, it's good. I mean, it's Thursday right
Almost,
now, but it's going to be
basically.
Friday soon enough. We usually do this on Wednesday. We couldn't get together yesterday, so we're doing it on Thursday. Boom, out we go. Enjoy your weekend, Will. I will talk to you later.
Godspeed, brother.
Peace.